My beloved brothers and sisters, remember, wealth fades, titles vanish, and success dies with you. But the values you plant in your children will echo for generations. If you want to change the future, don't invest in things. Invest in your children. When we talk about investing in our children, many immediately think of money, savings, or material assets that we can leave behind for them. While financial planning is important, let me remind you that the most valuable gift you can give your child is not wealth, not a house, not jewelry or land. It is your time. Your presence, your attention, and your care mean more than any amount of money ever could. Children don't measure love in terms of how much you've spent on them. They measure it in how much of yourself you've given them. A child doesn't remember the brand of the shoes you bought, but they do remember whether you were there to hold their hand on their first day of school. They may forget the expensive toy you gifted, but they will never forget how you sat down on the floor to play with them. And as they grow older, the little moments of your presence become the strongest pillars of their identity and confidence. Sometimes we think we are showing love by working extra hours, taking more shifts, chasing more income, telling ourselves it's for the family. But if that pursuit of wealth comes at the cost of neglecting the ones you're trying to provide for, then the balance has been lost. Your child needs you more than they need your money. Money can buy them comfort, but it can never replace the warmth of a parent's guidance or the security of a parent's love. Children are like soft clay. They take the shape of the hands that mold them. If your hands are absent, someone else will shape them. If your words are missing, someone else's words will fill their minds. And if your guidance is silent, the world will not hesitate to step in. That is why your time is priceless. It is the mold in which their character, their faith, and their worldview are formed. And don't think you have to be perfect. Children don't need a perfect parent. They need a present one. They need someone who listens when they speak, who shares stories, who laughs with them, who corrects them with kindness, and who shows by example what it means to live with integrity. When we think of what truly lasts, we realize that every material possession eventually fades away. The house you build will one day crumble, the car you buy will lose its shine, and the wealth you accumulate will be divided and forgotten. But the knowledge, wisdom, and values you pass on to your children remain alive long after you are gone. Education is not simply about school or grades. It is about shaping the mind, nurturing the soul, and preparing a child to navigate life with dignity and strength. That is why investing in your child's education is one of the greatest legacies you can ever leave behind. We live in a time where many parents believe giving children expensive gadgets, the latest technology, or a luxurious lifestyle is enough. Yet, if that child is not taught gratitude, humility, and responsibility, all those luxuries will only turn into tools of arrogance and destruction. On the other hand, if you give a child the gift of wisdom, they will know how to make the best out of any situation, whether they are rich or poor, whether they are living in abundance or scarcity. Education is not restricted to classrooms. It begins in the home. Every conversation, every story, every example you live in front of your children is teaching them something. They learn honesty when they see you tell the truth, even when it's difficult. They learn respect when they see you treat others with kindness. They learn patience when they see you endure trials without giving up. And they learn faith when they see you turn to Allah in moments of difficulty. These are lessons no textbook can ever provide, yet they are the foundation of a life well lived. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam reminded us that when a person dies, all their deeds come to an end except for three: ongoing charity, beneficial knowledge, or a righteous child who prays for them. Notice how two of the three are directly linked to what you leave behind in your children. If you instill in them beneficial knowledge, that knowledge becomes a continuous stream of reward for you long after you have left this world. And if your child becomes righteous, every prayer they make for you is an investment that continues paying even in your grave. One of the greatest investments you can ever make in your children is not something you can touch or see. It is the emotional foundation you build inside them. Every child is born with a natural need to feel loved, to feel valued, and to feel secure in the hearts of their parents. If these needs are not met at home, they will go searching for them outside, and what they find may not always be safe or healthy. That is why emotional nurturing is not optional. It is essential. Emotional nurturing is not about spoiling children or giving them everything they ask for. It is about making them feel heard, respected, and appreciated. When your child comes to you with excitement over something small, take the time to listen. When they come to you with a problem, don't dismiss them as being too young to understand life. Guide them with patience. These little moments may seem ordinary to you, but to them, they are life-shaping. They tell your child they matter, I am important, I am loved. A child who grows up with love learns how to love others. A child who grows up with respect learns how to respect others. A child who grows up feeling safe learns how to face the world without fear. And when they encounter difficulties, as every human does, the emotional strength you instilled in them will help them stand firm rather than crumble. Parents sometimes underestimate the power of simple words. A well done, I'm proud of you, or a gentle I love you can carry more weight in a child's heart than years of material gifts. These affirmations become their inner voice when life gets tough. They remind your child of their worth when the world tries to convince them otherwise. At the same time, nurturing also means discipline done with love. Children need boundaries, but those boundaries should be set with care, not with harshness that scars the heart. Correcting them with gentleness teaches them responsibility without breaking their spirit. The goal is not to raise children who fear you, but children who trust you, respect you, and turn to you when they are in need. When we think about the greatest protection we can give our children, it is not wealth, it is not status, and it is not even education alone. The strongest shield we can hand to them is faith and values, because life will test them in ways we cannot always be there to help. Situations will arise where money cannot solve the problem, where intellect cannot provide the answer, but faith in Allah, faith in what is right, will guide them through the storms of life. Many parents worry about securing their children's future in terms of wealth, but forget that without faith, wealth can destroy rather than protect. Without values, intelligence can turn arrogant. Without belief, success can become empty. That is why the most priceless gift you can give your child is the understanding that life is temporary, that accountability is real, and that true success lies in pleasing the Creator. Faith is not taught only through lectures or reminders. It is lived in the small everyday acts. When your children see you pause your busy schedule to pray, they learn the importance of Salah. When they see you show kindness to a stranger, they learn compassion. When they hear you say Alhamdulillah, even in difficult times, they learn gratitude. These lessons are more powerful than any words because they are lived examples. But remember, the world your children will inherit will be filled with challenges we cannot even imagine today. The speed of change, the pressures of society, and the distractions of modern life are only increasing. This means the responsibility on us as parents is greater than ever. We cannot protect them from every storm, but we can prepare them with the tools to face it. We can raise them to be resilient, principled, and compassionate individuals who do not simply follow the world, but help guide it. If you teach your children faith, they will carry light into a world filled with darkness. If you teach them honesty, they will be a voice of truth in times of deception. If you teach them justice, they will stand against oppression. And if you teach them compassion, they will heal hearts that are broken. This is how they become future builders, not just of careers or families, but of societies that reflect goodness and balance. So when you look at your children, see them for who they truly are. They are not just your sons and daughters, they are seeds of the future, waiting to grow into trees that give shade, fruits, and shelter to others long after you are gone.